welcome to today's yoga sequence to prepare for birth. So these exercises will be great for you in a couple of weeks leading up to your due date, and they're also a really good way to work through contractions when active labor has begun. Now, if you're new to Element, welcome. My name's Jennifer. I'm a Pilates and yoga teacher, and I specialize in women's health. If you would like to stay up to date with new videos that get posted and tutorials to help you through your pregnancy, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, for our class today, we will need to use just a mat and a chair as well. If you have any questions about the sequence, please feel free to pop them into the comments below. I also have a free prenatal health and exercise guide available. If you would like a copy of that, I've added a link which you can follow as well. All right, when you're ready, let's bring our chair towards the mat and we will get started. So let's make our way up to standing on the mat. Just position the chair in front of you. So we will start off our sequence today with our hands reaching up to the very top of the chair. Walk your feet back until you can bring your chest and your body about parallel to the floor. Have your feet a little bit wider than your belly to create some space around the abdomen. Relax down through the shoulders. Good, relax down into the belly. And let's just hang out here for a few deep breaths to get started. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, release. As you're breathing in, just feeling that belly expanding and opening. And exhale, let everything soften and release a little deeper. That's it. One more deep breath. You can close your eyes. And now let's stay where we are. Just start to move through the hips. Starting to sway that body very gently left and right. Good, just starting to ease out any tension that you might be feeling through the lower back. Good, around the back of the hips, the pelvis. So play around with keeping the legs straight and maybe bending one knee at a time. See what feels good for your body. That's it. Let's hold it here for one more breath. And then center yourself. Send your hips back just a little bit more. Let that chest release down. And then bend the knees and gently roll yourself back to standing. Good. Coming away from the chair for just a moment. Let's step our feet out nice and wide. So a little bit wider than the body. Turn out through the toes. Now soften through those knees. You can rest your hands onto the hips and just start to sway your hips from side to side here. If you need a little more support, you may want to rest the hands down onto the legs. Good. So during your active labor process, we generally find that the body will tell you what position it wants to be in to work through those contractions. So the more we can keep movement and mobility going through the hips especially, the more we're going to help that baby start making its way down through the birth canal. That's it. So feel free to make whatever noises you feel that you need to during your breath. Just letting go of tension in any way that's possible for you. That's it. Now let's just come back through center and we'll start to lift and lower into this position. Again, if you need to keep the hands on the thighs to give you a little bit more support here, feel free. That's it. If you'd rather rest the hands onto the hips, you can do that as well. Good. Staying with these. So we're thinking strong through the legs, but really releasing through the belly and the pelvic floor, letting everything be soft. That's it. Imagining that cervix starting to expand, starting to open. Good. Stay here on your next one. Now let's bring the hands down towards those knees and start to rotate your shoulders from side to side. Good. So really rest into that position. Keeping the hips back behind you. That's it. Just getting that stretch around that side and middle part of the back. Good. Releasing tension right down into the back of the hips. Aiming to rotate just a little bit more here with each one if you can. That's it. And then let's make our way back through the center and release. Good. Walk those feet in back towards the chair. Now we're going to do the same thing, resting the hands on the chair. So step your feet out again a little bit wider than your body. Turn out your toes. Rest your hands in front of you. Slightly bend through the knees. And again, just start to rock from side to side. Good. So this is a supported version. If you're feeling a little bit fatigued or you need a little bit more of a rest, just something to take your body weight, this is a good alternative to standing on the floor. That's it. So just like we did before, rocking through the hips. Come back through center and again, just bend and stretch the legs. That's it. Resting as much weight as you need to onto your hands. Remember to really keep that belly free. Think of releasing all the way down into your pelvic floor. Deep breaths. Good. Now let's hold that next one. So just soften the knees. Keep those hips released out behind you. And once again, just turn your shoulders from side to side, getting that stretch around the side and the back of the hips. Good, that's it. Releasing down through that lower back, down through the hips. Good, we'll do one more here each way. And then release back up. Now, if you are needing a rest in between contractions or you're finding you need to keep moving but you're feeling really fatigued, we can do a similar sequence sitting down. So if you bring your feet again out wide, just resting on the chair, hands onto the knees in front of you, and then once again, lean forward and just rock and rotate those shoulders side to side here. And just getting that movement around the spine, releasing tension. Let's do a couple more of those deep breaths. Good, that's it. Now let's come back through the center. So we'll stay seated and I'll show you a couple of other options that you can do staying here. A way to keep moving but without putting too much strain on the body. So rest the hands onto the knees. Make sure your feet stay nice and wide so you can really relax your hips and your pelvic floor. And we'll come into a seated cat and cow. So as you inhale, lift the chest, lean forward. Exhale, rock and lean back. That's it. So as you do this, try to keep the core muscles as relaxed as possible. So you want to do the movement here, letting your arms assist you. Just letting your body weight roll and release you forward and back. That's it, just getting rid of any tension around the spine. Again, nice deep breaths. The more we can practice that long, slow breath pattern, good, the more we'll be able to work through those contractions when they come. Those short, shallow breaths tend to increase tension and can increase discomfort. So we want to try and take long, deep breaths here to release. That's it. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back up. All right, from here, let's make our way down onto the mat. So keeping that chair in front of you, let's rest the elbows down. You can have your hands together, separate, whatever feels comfortable here for your shoulders. Have your knees back, just down underneath your hips. And again, let's just start with our rocking positions here. So you're going to move your pelvis gently forward and back. You can slightly tuck under through the tailbone and around the spine as you go back if that feels good for you. Maybe extending up a little as you come forward. So it's more like a kneeling cat-cow. Again, just playing around what feels comfortable and nice for your body. That's it. Let's do one more like this. Good. Now come back and center yourself and just start to circle your hips around from side to side. Good. Again, getting as much space through the belly as possible, letting your pelvic floor be soft and free. Again, those circles, that movement helps your baby to start making its way further and further down. Good, let's do one more like this. And then reverse. Good, and a lot of women find that all fours is actually a really good birthing position as well. So whether it's resting the arms directly on the floor or on a support in front of you, or even on a big soft Pilates ball. And they often provide a bit of support as well and movement, which is really helpful. Good, last one. Now let's find that center. Now move your knees back a little bit. We're coming into a modified puppy pose. So we're gonna stretch the arms a little bit further over the chair, just sink the hips back. If it feels comfortable to do so, you may want to rest your head onto the chair. Take your knees as wide as you need to create space for the belly. And just hold here and breathe. That's it. Good. So we always want to work with gravity, all right, especially during active labor. So our regular puppy pose, we normally perform on the floor where your hips end up being a little bit higher than your head. But during labor, especially, we want to always work with the baby and with gravity and allow everything to draw down and release. That's it, nice belly breaths, sinking that chest down. Hold here, one more breath. And then just wiggle the hips from side to side a little bit. Again, loosening up tension in the hips. And then slowly make your way back up. Bring your hands down onto the floor and then sit back and release. Good, let's make our way into a sitting position now. You can bring the soles of your feet together. Here, just let those knees open out gently towards the side. So don't force it, just let the knees open softly. Good, holding on to either the shins or the ankles, somewhere that feels comfortable for you. Just draw a little circle around with your body. Again, as we do this, we want the belly to be as soft as possible. Good. That's it, moving through any tension in the lower back. Good, let's reverse. Gently roll the shoulders around. Great work, just a couple more. And then make your way back through center. Come into a comfortable seat. So if you want to bring your legs in a little closer, maybe cross them. Bring your hands down onto your belly. Good. So in these last few weeks of pregnancy, really allow you that time to connect in with your baby. So let's close through the eyes, relax and release the shoulders. And just take a few deep, long breaths. Really slowing down your exhale, lengthening it as much as you can. Knowing that every breath brings you closer to meeting your baby. When you're ready, bring your hands to your heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I wish you all the best for a beautiful birth and a safe delivery. Namaste.